What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 43. We started today's off by officially beginning a brand new season, our fourth year at Goodison, on the back of what I thought was a really successful season. The board, however, had other thoughts, to say the very least. But those are thoughts which I dismissed. I'm sorry guys, but top six and an FA Cup is still a good season in my opinion. But for the new season, the board has given us £74 million, which once again I quite like. You know, ever since this savers began, we talked about how we want to do it realistically. We haven't been given a major war chest of like 200 million to spend. No. For an Everton team that have struggled with FFP and the financial problems over the years due to mismanagement by the board primarily, I think that to me this probably makes sense. You know, this is not a team with a sugar daddy. This is not a team who, have a ridiculous commercial pull. That's about right in my opinion. £74 million for a team that is still in the Europa League. So heading into the new season, as you see my team here, I got to be honest, I think this year it's got to be top four. If we don't get top four, then I think I'm going to resign and just say it's not going to happen, because this is such a good team. It's a 5-star team now. A lot of the players in the prime of their careers now, in their mid to late 20s. This is such a good team, and it's really nicely balanced. Our front three is sublime. We've got some decent veteran experience as well. For me, no doubt about it, it has to be top four. You saw our objectives there. They are very tough. Retain the FA Cup, win the Europa League. Last year, of course, we were knocked out in the last 16 by Arsenal. A little bit unlucky with the draw, I felt, but even so. And as for the Premier League, at a 6th place finish, again, to me, that was a good season. It was a pretty decent season. Our first year in Europe, we topped our group, but again, the luck of the draw didn't help us out much, having to face Arsenal. I guess I should have gone for some more of those sort of halfway line goals if this year's real life fixture between Sporting was anything to go by. They're beating one pens. But even so, I think last year to me was a good season. But this year we've got to take the next step. This year we've got to take the next step and get ourselves into the big time, the Champions League. So you would have seen a few players to deals come the end of the year. However, we're only going to give out 2 contracts. Viktor Mykolenko, our Ukrainian left back, who's become a really important member of our backline. And also James Garner got a new 1-year extension as well. I like James Garner. He's alright as a squad player. He does okay to me. He got an assist in the cup final. Started the cup final last year against Liverpool. As a squad player, he does alright. He's not developed as much as I was hoped he would have done. As much as I was hoping he would have done. But he's still pretty decent. And of course, well, I discussed this in the season finale last season. Jordan Pickford, club captain, 31 years old now, 88 rated, desperate to be playing in the big time. I said, Jordan, I know, you're England's number one, you're our number one, you're club captain, but you've just won us an FA Cup. You've now become a club legend. Come on, mate. Stay here for the rest of your career. Get us to the Champions League. That would mean so much more than moving on and playing for another team. Do it with the People's Club, Everton, where you are the man of the people. He said, fair enough, Gaffer. All right, then go on. Another 2 years for Jordan Pickford. Love him. Had to keep him. Last year won the Golden Glove and one of, if not my joint most important player, alongside Romelu Lukaku. So with around 74 to 75 million in the budget for the new season, the question is, where will we going to invest? Now, with Everton team, we normally play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Occasionally I'll play up top, 2 up top, but that's normally unlikely for me. I normally only play with a 1 striker and good inside forwards as well. But the back line to me I felt could be improved upon. Yes, last year we won the Golden Glove and had the best defensive record in the division, but I do feel with Eric Dyer now being 31 years old, Pickford 31 years old as well. I thought maybe we could do some fresher blood in our back line. Matt Doherty's just retired, of course, as well, but Mason Holgate's in his late 20s, not going to get any better. Hatterburg is also in his 30s as well, who we bought in on a short-term deal last season as well. I thought we could do with a really class new centre-half to replace Eric Dyer, to partner Ben Godfrey, and I had 3 names on the shortlist that I was really keen on. In the end, I decided not to go for Presnel Kimpembe for 2 reasons. Right now he's at Juventus, obviously bigger club than us, playing Champions League football as well, but also because PSG put a bid in, so he wants to go back to the Parc des Princes. So I thought for realism, that makes a lot more sense. Juventus to PSG, or Juventus to Everton, Champions League or Europa League, higher salary compared to an average salary. It kind of made a bit more sense there, realistically, to let Kimpembe go, even though it was my first choice. But the other two choices, to be fair, also really good options here, and I thought a little bit more realistic too. Wesley Fofana moving back to the King Power, going from Leicester to Chelsea and then back to Leicester, and also Evan Ndicka from Eintracht Frankfurt, now playing under Marco Silva at Fulham. Both of those teams finished below us in the Premier League. Both of those teams aren't in Europe right now. Fulham only just survived last season, right down the bottom of the table. And as for Leicester, we are a better team than the Foxes, and we're in Europe as well, which they are not. So I thought those two options realistically would make a lot more sense. They're both in their early to mid-20s, well, mid-20s for the most part here. They want to play European football and not spend too much of their prime outside of a European competition. In the end, Marco Silva said, listen, we need Evan Ndicka. If we're going to stay in the Premier League, I can't lose one of my best defenders. So I said, fair enough, you keep him, because I'm not spending 65 million on the centre-half. But Wesley Fofana back at Leicester. He had a taste of European football at Stamford Bridge. He went back to the King Power, and I said, Wesley, come on, mate. You're more than good enough to be playing in Europa League football at the very least. 24 years old, 84 rated, and for £45 million, Wesley Fofana is in. 85 grand a week. It's a 5-year deal for Fofana, and I'm buzzing with his sign as well. I don't think I've ever used Fofana before, so I'm really excited about this because, as you know, Wesley Fofana is like rapid, absolutely rapid, which I really, really like because, Godfrey's quite quick as well. And also, we play quite a high defensive line too. I often meet the ball carrier. I don't tend to contain, I like to meet the ball carrier, play an intense press wherever I am on the pitch. But Fofana is absolutely rapid, so the bonus there is that he's going to be able to cover and track back really, really quickly, even if I do drag him out of position every now and then. He's 6'3", so got a bit of height, medium high work rates, 90 strength, some really great defensive stats as well. But the only concern is the injury prone tag. Now, last year we had quite a few injuries towards the end of the season. I'm not going to say that's the reason why we missed out on the Champions League. But maybe it was. We got quite a few injuries. Thuram went down, Gallagher went down, DCO went down, Patterson went down. Because we had the injury sliders up a little bit, we do get quite a few injuries during the season, which we like because it's realistic. If a player has an injury-prone tag, then obviously, the clue's in the name, it means they're more likely and susceptible to get injuries every now and then. That's my only concern with Wesley Fofana. Other than that, he looks absolutely perfect here. I put him on the ball-playing defender development plan to get a weak foot up from 3 to 4 star. We like to play out from the back, so that's really, really crucial. But otherwise, for 45 mil, I'm buzzing with that. New club record signing, and he looks at, is it a new club record signing? I suppose it's not. Well, close to a club record signing. But even so, he looks absolutely fantastic. Still following that, I put Eric Dyer on the transfer list at 31 years old now. He said he wants to stay at Everton, but I said, Eric, come on, mate. Now you're going to be, fourth choice centre-half here behind Tosin, Wesley and Ben as well. Mate, if you want to stay in the England team, you got to move on. I think it's the best thing for both parties, really. And I'll try and sell him somewhere realistically. Milan Van Hewitt goes to Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace, 20.5 mil. Of course, not Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace now. Tough call from Steve Parish. Really tough call there. But anyway, as we would have seen as well, there was a bid for Eric Dyer. I was putting him on the transfer list here. After we sold on Yango to Cincinnati. Oh, man, I mean, listen, they're big bids, they're decent offers, but like I said, this save is all about realism, and I just don't really see him rocking up at the Bernabeu, personally speaking. So I turned that bid down, and the Wolfsburg one down as well, and I turned down this bid for Ryan Astley from FC Midtjylland of Scandinavia in Norway. Sorry, not Norway, Denmark as well. But there was another bid here for Eric Dyer, and this one I thought was a little bit more realistic, mainly because in the past few years we've seen Atletico Madrid signed 2 Spurs defenders. Both right backs, admittedly, yes, but even so. First, Kieran Trippier going to Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone. If I remember correctly, they won La Liga together there, Kieran Trippier and Simeone. But also, Matt Doherty. Yeah, so we just had Matt Doherty in the save, but in real life, in this January window, Doherty was released by Spurs. It was a really interesting call from the powers that be at Spurs. and Simeone picked him up on a free transfer. So 2 Spurs defenders moving on to Atletico Madrid. And if I'm being honest here, Eric Dyer, he's already said before, he's gone on record before and said he wouldn't be against playing abroad once again. He, of course, started his career off at Sporting Lisbon before moving on to Spurs. I could see him playing abroad, and if he was going to go somewhere, I think Atletico Madrid, I think it fits. I think that actually fits to me. I think Eric Dyer at Atletico Madrid, to me, I think that fits. Maybe I think perhaps Manchester United possibly could have been a better fit, if you will, but I wasn't getting the bids there. They were all coming from European clubs. I thought of his wages, he wouldn't go to Sporting because he needs to take a massive wage cut in the game, which quite frankly, he wouldn't do. So that's why the Portuguese clubs wouldn't put the bid in. But Atletico Madrid, to me, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. He goes for just over 20 mil. And we'll take it. 3rd time Simeone in recent years has signed a former Spurs boy. First Trippier, then Doherty, and now via Everton, Eric Dyer. But after the signing of Wesley Fofana, I did decide to make my second signing of the window so far, and it is a bargain. Speaking of Spurs, released in the summer transfer window from Fulham to Tottenham, you know who it is. Ryan Sessegnon. Antonio Conte decides to let him walk on a free, and I said to Ryan, come to me. Come to Goodison, mate, because I promise you this, you'll get the game time you're not getting at Spurs. And with Sessegnon, well, Fulham fans will tell you this. This guy can play wing back, this guy can play left mid, but he can also play on the wing as well. And that's where I'm going to retrain him. Ryan Sessegnon, I'm going to train him to right wing. Yes, listed as a left wing back. To me, with his stats, and you know Ryan Sessegnon like I do, this guy is rapid, he's technically sublime, he's got great agility and balance, and with a left foot as well. I think it'll only take him 4 weeks to become a right winger by trade. I think, as an inside forward on that right, as part of our three-pronged attack to replace Steffi Mavididi, I think, to me, that is an absolute bargain. On a free transfer, Sessegnon is in, and I am buzzing with that, just as buzzing as the 45 mil we spent on Wesley Fofana. Even so, just over £50 million remaining in the transfer window as August is about to arrive and the Community Shield will begin. We're still a 5-star team, but the question is, with loads of money still in the budget and big expectations for this season, where else do we improve this team? Who else do we buy? But that will end this episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't, like, most of you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode on the Realistic Career Mode very soon.